G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today we bring you a very special event. In fact, the very first cast for EGC TV's most recent tournament, the Elite Classic number 3. So let's get into it. We'll talk about our players and we'll talk about this event because I tell you what, I'm excited for this event. This is by far my favorite EGC event. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Spawning on the west side of the map, southwest side of the map, in the color purple, playing as the Knights Templar today, it's Corvinus 1. And in the northeast side of the map, in the color orange, playing as the House of Lancaster, it's Kilji. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted game. A pleasure to have your company. So let's talk a little bit about what we've got today. Now, first and foremost, this is a tournament game. This is not a ranked game. Both of these players are Conqueror 3 players, very talented players. So if you think about, the rating system, 1600 is where Conqueror 3 start. These guys are like 2000 rating. So some of the best players in the world that we're watching right here. So I'm excited to see that. And of course, we've got 2 new civilizations. Now, we're going to be covering quite a few games from now on for the Elite Classic, which I'm going to be enjoying a lot because obviously there's money on the line here. If you're enjoying that as well, make sure you leave a like on the video, as it does really help out with the traction of the videos. But one of the reasons why I love this event so much is just simply because it is a simple tournament, right? If ever I was going to host a tournament, I would want it to look as much like the ranked ladder as possible, because the ranked ladder for me is where we get to spend most of our time. That's where we get to spend most of our grind. And I've always found it a little bit difficult following along when there's lots of water maps or there's interesting rules, but at the same time they don't always carry across. Like I remember there was one event where EGC did, I think it was like 12 villages that you would start off with. And it was a cool idea, but at the end of the day, it was just one of those things that I have difficulty resonating with it, or at least that idea has difficulty resonating with me. Maybe that's probably a better way to say it. So I like this event just simply because it's the classic, in the sense that you're just going to see maps that you know. The format is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. If I remember correctly, there's specific rules so that you can't actually get mirror matchups, which is very cool. I do like that because often there'll be a best civ for the map. But today we'll be watching as 2 of the new civilizations face off. Now keep in mind that with these games that we're going to be casting for this event, these games have already happened. If you'd like to check out the action live this weekend, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can watch it live. I don't know what time it starts, but normally it's 15 GMT that it starts, and it'll be Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be going on for a few weeks, so we're going to be casting plenty of games, and of course there'll be links down in the description to where you can do it. So of course, thank you to EGC TV, thank you to Pesty for hosting the event. Once again, keeping Age of Empires 4 afloat, at least the community, the competitive community afloat here. But age ups will be coming through shortly. We can see Corvinus 1 on the other side of the map about to get that age up in, going for that second TC opening here. And we'll ride on board with him as he clicks up. It's going to be the Kingdom of France. No real surprise there. As time has gone on, we've seen that the Kingdom of France has become pretty much the stock standard pick for everybody here as they do play the Knights Templar. It just provides you so much pressure onto the map early on, gives you a really good buff that lasts the duration of the game. There's just a lot of good things about it. Now, let's check in with Kilji and see how he's doing, because from everything that we see so far, it looks like it's just going to be a standard Lancaster opening. Oh, that was another thing I wanted to mention. I have seen a couple of comments that have said, hey, Drongo, can you bring in some, like, OG civilizations? Like, stop just doing every single game Knights Templar and House of Lancaster. And the good news is, now with this event, there's going to be games games in series where we don't actually get to see both of these civilizations anymore. So there will be OG civilizations that will be coming back, so you'll get to see, Delhi Sultanate versus the Rus, Ottomans versus the Malians, all that good stuff. It will be coming back. But let's check in now and see how the age up is coming along for Kilji. Of course, he's building up quite a bit of stone in the bank there. At the same time, over on the other side for Corvinus 1, about to hand in for the town center, 4 minutes and 5 seconds, 4 minutes and 6 seconds. Where is he putting down? Looks like he's going down over on the deer over here, moving out a lot of his villages as well. You can see just how many he's got. Pops them down through onto the sheep, and now at 4 minutes and 15, will throw down his second TC on the deer. So a bit of a forward TC here. Interestingly, not going to be going for a third TC. And to be honest, in this matchup, I feel like going for the third TC kind of makes sense. So it's interesting that Corvinus 1 doesn't do that here. Now, another thing to note is that these matches that we are going to be watching, these are all from like the qualifiers for this event, but they're from like the really pointy end of the stick. So all of these guys, so already for this event, there's a whole bunch of people that have qualified, like your Beasties, your Louis MTs, all the big tournament winners, Marine Lord, those, Lucifron, Vortex, all those big folks have already qualified for the event. And now it's just going to be the guys that aren't, you know, the tippity top of the iceberg. These are going to be the guys that are, you know, your top 10s, these sorts of players. So that's what we're watching here. We're watching as we get to this pointier end of the event. Of course, there will be a main event that will be happening for quite a while, but this is the qualification stage. So second TC about to come up about a minute after it was initially put down with these 6 villagers. And we can see that he's managed to clean out all of the deer here. So second TC now online. Quite a few villagers on food here. How many vills are on gold? No vills on gold. And you can see 15 vills on food, 4 vills on wood. What's this all about? And I wonder what the game plan here is for Corvinus 1. Is he... Yeah, I was going to say, I think he must be going into safe passage. That's got to be the only thing he can be doing here. So maybe going for 1 or even the second looking for sanctuary, potentially. Let's check in with Kilji, though, because it's 5 minutes and 46 seconds in. The third mana is now just getting completed. You can see that it does have the influence on all 3 of these manas here. So they've all got those arrow slits, and we now also get the condensed land practices coming through. So both of them looking to really just play into the economy, which is part of the reason why I was saying, you know, it kind of makes sense to go for that third TC. But I'm curious to see exactly how Corvinus manages to go with the timings here. I think one of the ways that you could play it, so as an example right here, like Corvinus could do kind of like what the Abbasid do, where they put their second TC on the stone, and then they put their third TC on the deer. I feel like that's a pretty reasonable prospect. Because obviously, like, your vills are just so much better. But have a look at this. Pilgrim moving out. Now, one other thing to note is this is one of EGC's custom maps for Gorge. So it's not the exact same spawn that you'd normally get on Gorge. And I was having a look at it. I'm like, I don't remember the last time I played Gorge and I got this kind of front spawn on the forest. So this must be different. We see the first of the pilgrims goes through. I didn't see how much gold that one got, but it's probably going to be double digits, not triple digits, just from the fact that we don't have that next pilgrim spawning just yet. And normally you often see them spawning. I don't actually know what the calculation is. There we go. Oh, no, never mind. 121. No, okay, he's shifted it up. He's moving down to here. That's actually pretty good. 121 gold. I'd be happy with that. Let's check in with Kilji, though. More manas now coming up. That's going to be 4th mana now online. 5th mana is coming through. And I suspect with the 6th mana coming in, let's have a look and see. Yeah, he's got quite a few resources in the bank. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Muster the Nobles come through as soon as he begins putting down that 6th mana. So he's got the ability to do it right now. He's actually pulled off the stone. Yeah, 6th mana. And do we see immediately Muster the Nobles? Because I think that should 100% be the play here. It doesn't look like it is, though. So he's avoided going into it for the moment. I mean, it could be one of those things where he could have just forgotten to do it, because I don't feel like you're ever going to get a stronger Muster the Nobles than right now. And yeah, okay, there we go. I was going to say, there is no such thing as like a stronger Muster the Nobles than at this point in time. And then from here, it's just you're falling off, basically. And ideally, you should time it so that it literally comes out the moment that this builds. So basically, if you drop a mana down with 3 villages, you've got like 2 or 3 seconds where you can get those vills into position, and then the Muster the Nobles, as long as you do that within, like, as long as the vills start tapping away within 2 or 3 seconds of the Muster the Nobles starting, you can see right now it is going to bring all the Demi-Lancers out, and with that, at 8 minutes into the game, a whole bunch of cavalry make its way across the map. Corvinus 1 obviously scouts this out. He's gone for the racks already. He's looking to begin bracing in this position. We see only a single spearman for the moment, but he's got another 2 in queue. Never mind, I take it back. He's got 2 more that are coming to rally out towards this position. You notice how he's moving the villagers back. He's only keeping the necessary villagers out here. All the rest of the vills are moving back to the main town center, just simply because he doesn't want to be in a position where he has to choose. And these 2 are going to start moving back, and now he's only keeping the ones that can fit in the main town center over here. Super smart moves by Corvinus 1 already in this game. Spearman going to be able to hold on for this gold vein. Kilji not going to have anywhere he can really put pressure on. He's going to try and split up the forces here and see if he can come through from multiple angles. The spears are doing a wonderful job of covering for the moment, rounding the corner towards that top side. No walls just yet. And the Kingdom of Castile now coming through for Corvinus 1. Interesting decision. Pilgrim going to get caught out. Oh, terrible timing on that Pilgrim. Just unfortunately right in the crossfire of these Demi-Lancers, right underneath the town center. I mean, at the end of the day, it would have been picked up eventually, but it's one of those things that only exists just in this tiny little gap, and like the circumstances change over here. You're able to draw your enemy out over on that position, but Kingdom of Castile is a very interesting choice. So let's just quickly touch on the bonuses that he'll be getting here. So he'll be getting extra damage at sacred sites, which I think on this map makes a lot of sense. You're very often going to be fighting around sacred sites. The sacred sites are quite central. Even the ones on the edges of the map are quite central. So I think this is a really smart choice here, because obviously you're not going to be playing too much into the Genitors. As I say that, he's going for double archery range. Oh my lord, have I just put my foot in it? I may Maiev. Let's have a look and see what he goes into. Is it going to be the Genitor? I mean, technically you're up against the House of Lancaster. I expect to see a Yeoman or two, so maybe this could be the Go Man. Let's have a look and see, though. Let's check in with Kilji. King's College going to be coming up for him, and of course, we'll be paying attention to see what his plan is from here. He's only got the first of the upgrades for the Manors, so just going to be sitting on those 6 Manors for the moment. And definitely the wise choice from Corvinus to only go for the 2 TCs against going for the 3 TCs. Going for a 3 TC against the 6 mana, probably not a smart move. Now, he's got to be careful. He's losing out some of these units here. The Demi-Lancers have been upgraded, and we do now start to see those Genitors coming out. Look at the timing on these Genitors. Wonderfully timed here. And the range, able to force back the enemy Yeoman from here. Unfortunately, not able to take... Actually, I think he took out a single villager and a single unit. Maybe a spearman or so, because we can see he's got 200, so probably something in that region. And it looks like the Pilgrim is trying to heal up. Will it be able to get to the site? No, it will not. Got that little bit of speed boost as well, but the Demi-Lance is able to keep it down for the moment. Relic's going to be the next focus, and we start to see the Monastery now coming up for Kilji. On the other side, we already know that the Monastery is completed for Corvinus 1. He's got it in the back of the base, beginning to make that very first of the monks. But interesting decision to go into the Genitors early. So we only have Genitor? It's not Genitor. I think Genitor is fine. They used to be called Genites back in Age of Empires 3, and I suspect it's probably something similar, or at least like, you know, from the same line. Anyway, Genitors. Now, looking to clean up the mess that is the House of Lancaster. That was pretty good. You guys like that one? Templar Brother also out as well. This could be definitely a bit of a trump position, so you do need to be cautious about these, and perhaps Kilji might need to look at exploring other options, whether that be potentially crossbows, whether that potentially be some spearmen, or maybe some of his own. All right, numbers still looking good for him back here. No upgrades coming through just yet. Excuse me, I've just had a little bit of juice. My wife just picked up some lovely juice. It's a nice little mix. You know, often when I talk about juice, it's either like your pineapple or your orange. We got a good mix. It's a tropical blend, and it's the OG juice. It's real juice. It's not fruit drink. So that's always nice. But anyway, that's where I'm currently at in life. Speaking of currently at, check this out. Synchronized shot on the way through. Veterans, he's obviously come through for Kilji as well as +1. So looking to do quite a bit of damage here up against that potential backline. Now, the Genitor, keep in mind that it's got some very high damage, but it's also got really good ranged armor. And I suspect that's going to upset the Yeoman here, because if they try for a synchronized shot on these Genitors, they're just going to get absolutely rinsed. There's going to be barely any damage, and have a look at this. Corvinus 1 unfortunately makes it into the Stealth Forest, but does get found out just in time. All of these units here from the House of Lancaster, the English variant, do manage to spot out that relic being sniped away. Monk moving down here. We've also got the Wolf looking to get involved. How are we doing on upgrades? No unique upgrades just yet. Synchronized shot about to come through. And at the same time, another Templar Brother is out. If I had to consider positions right now, I would say that I would prefer Corvinus 1's position. I feel like Corvinus 1's position here is better than his opponent. And for a number of reasons, but like number one, he's got the scaling is all sorted, right? He's gone for the second TC. He's already up 16 vils. And to be fair, like Kilji could put down a second TC right now and he'd be able to scale as well. But the army composition is also quite nice for Corvinus 1. And the fact that he's gone in for this extra attack actually is quite smart. But another Wallalow attempt down to the south, not going to come through. The Demi-Lance is able to clean it up in time. Vil on the run. Boar, of course, being eaten. Well, attempting to be eaten right down here. 2,200 out of 2,200. Unit's going to be en route here for sure. No, never mind. He's going to do a little bit of a counterattack, but I definitely feel like Corvinus 1 is in a better position, but he's lost a couple of vils here. Templar Brothers on the way through, going to hit their big charges on the enemy Yeoman, and now we finally start to see some additional cavalry coming out from Kilji. It's going to be in the form of knights. He does unfortunately lose out a couple of these. We saw the rest of the vils taken out. That was 5 villagers in there, by the way. And now we got ourselves a little bit of a field day. Oh, a little bit of... Have a look at the damage. That was actually pretty good from the Yeoman. Not too bad there. But unfortunately going to get chased away by all of the Templars. You can see them as they're chasing through that extra ranged armor, helping them out so much in these fights. Only able to do 5 damage a pop right there. Scheeman going to be able to chase. Nice little Wallalow to help defend. He's going to fall back for the moment. And Corvinus 1 in this tournament game is looking in pole position, prime position. I don't know. He's looking like Verstappen right now. Let's give it that. Let's say that much. Let's check in with Kilji though and see how he's doing, because when it comes to score, Kilji's score is a mile ahead of Corvinus 1. But I don't know. I don't feel like from a gameplay perspective, he's ahead right now. Definitely doesn't feel that way. Let's switch it over to income per minute. Find out where these two guys currently are as all these villagers migrate. Quickly, let's count before these numbers fall too much. We're at 660. We'll call it 1400. About 2,000 resources a minute for Kilji. And on the side of Corvinus 1, you're looking at about what are we talking? 13, 18, about 2,000 resources a minute as well for Corvinus 1. I tell you what, that's my next requested feature from the devs. I don't know if there's any devs that are watching this right now. Can you write this down, stick it up on the whiteboard? Can we please get just like a total resource per minute counter, just so I don't have to sit here and add it up every single time, because I just want to be able to take a glance and be like, okay, 3.5k versus 4.6k. You know, that gives you a much better idea, because we can't just look at this villager count and expect this villager count to be faithful, because it's not, or to be trusty, because we're not faithful to the villager count. We're faithful to things like manas. Oh yeah, baby, give me a mana, give me 2 manas, give me 9 manas. Oh yeah. And upgrades. That's another consideration as well. You know, who's got the upgrades? That's going to affect you pretty adversely. But now we start to see sacred sites coming across the map. Oh, look at the little pincer movement from the north. Corvinus 1 able to find out a lot of these demi-lancers, really try and push them off target. He got some decent damage off, but in the end, he's decided to give it all up. And now those janitors, as they get that increased attack damage on the sacred site, a little bit of healing coming through as well. Meanwhile, towards the north, the knights are still through on the other side. Fortresses come up. A lot of vills here as well. Probably going to be looking to take advantage of this stone outcropping. Bit of an awkward wall that he's gone for, but I guess that is the case. That's at least what happens when you're in these sort of high octane games where you're really playing around it. Have we got treasure towers just yet? We don't have treasure towers yet, Dad. Don't worry. 92 gold in the middle. That's not bad. 92 gold. It's reasonable. We can take it. But I think we're probably going to be moving up towards this northern position from now on. If he hasn't already switched it up there, you'll see it switched within the next couple of minutes, because this is well and truly secure. You know, one of the things that we haven't seen players do yet, we obviously saw the patch notes where they changed stone walls so that pilgrims couldn't walk along stone walls. But I feel like you should be able to make, or not you should be able to make, I know that you can. You should start making palisade highways for your pilgrim. So basically you just draw a big palisade wall all the way from your base to the sacred site. Something just about that really excites me. Maybe I'll be the first. Maybe I'll be the first. You never know. All right, Templar brothers, cleaning up the trash here. And now the question is a bit more about, okay, so now that we've managed to stabilize, we've managed to establish ourselves, how does Kilji, I mean, he's still in the game. Don't get me wrong, he's still in the game, but my fear right now is he's not scaling. And I mean, he's taken out 12 villages, Strongo. That's how I refer to myself now. I refer to myself in the third person, because I don't have a second person to cast these with. You know, normally when you're casting a competitive EGC TV game, you've got a second person. So now there's just Strongo 1 and Strongo 2, and both of them are equal. So I guess technically you've got 2 1s. But yeah, I guess the reality is, he's doing a good job of keeping that villager count down. He's taken out 12 already, so he's still able to bridge that gap somewhat. I'm curious to see, has he picked up any additional manas just yet? Oh, well, the yeoman now popping out, 17 of them, 17 of the world's best. He has gone for those extra manas. We can see them all plonked down towards the top side, so his economy should be really firing on all cylinders now. The main next upgrade that he's going to be looking for is something like Scootage, but of course that's locked behind Imperial Age, so ideally you want to avoid prioritizing Imperial Age just for Scootage. Once you get there, it can be a great upgrade. Pays itself off very quickly, gives you that infinite source of gold. Now those yeomen moving into position, looking to try and potentially find a shot towards the enemy. And I think one of the key things that we haven't really seen players do yet with the House of Lancaster is just hit the enemy with a synchronized shot, but then fall back immediately. So I'd love to see from the side of Kilji, like moving into the line formation and then getting those shots off. Janitors towards the north. Gonna have to retreat back towards base for the moment. Corvinus 1. Does he have villagers out here? There's nothing out here to really actually grab with the yeoman. Yeoman gonna look towards the town center. Everybody jumps inside, so he's not able to do too much damage. A couple of crossbowmen managed to get out with their lives. The town center gonna go down here. So basically, Kilji really trying to stop the scaling as much as he possibly can. 13 vills taken out. Now forces that town center down and says, hey, we're even Stevens now, brother. Yeah, there ain't no changing it. Also taking out a couple pilgrims. He's taken out 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's all of them. Taken out, that's 4 down for the moment. More vills gonna be taken out. Oh, the huge synchronized shot! It's massive onto the mangonel. It doesn't hit. It hits a lot of units, but it doesn't kill a lot by the looks of it. Kind of hard to tell exactly how many were lost here, but he's doing the right thing. And look, he's gone into the line formation. This is all you want to do. And now you just run out You just chill out for another, how long's he got? Another 20 seconds, and then you go back in. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It's just the whole idea is you want to work your enemy down. You never want to engage them head on until you know that you can win a fight. Then I think it's absolutely A-okay to do it. But we do now start to see additional upgrades coming through. Military tactics, Collar of SS coming through. So more and more unique upgrades coming in. Yeoman about to get that next upgrade, and this is it. This is the high-level tactics. He's going to look to try and find the shot. Mango's a little bit short. Moves it out into the line formation. Can he find that Yeoman synchronized shot onto the Genitors? Get some decent damage. Takes out about 3 of them. Doesn't lose any Yeoman either. He's just going to look to try and rinse and repeat this over and over. I love that we're seeing this. This is the highest level of House of Lancaster military tactics that we have seen yet. Even more so than that game where we had the triple. Remember where we had the triple threat with the Yeoman baiting out the synchronized shot? That was pretty good, but this is something that has been missed a huge amount so far. Now, one thing to note is Kiljadi's still got spears, which is great. It means that you're going to be able to actually stop these charges from the Templar brothers. They do get that bonus damage from nearby charging units, or at least they get bonus charge damage from those nearby charging units. Now the Yeoman once again looking to try and come through. 1 second to go. Mango shots right on point blank. Yeoman now looking to fire off. Gets the first volley off onto the back line. More damage coming through, and it looks like we've got ourselves a bit of a battle beginning to unfold in the middle of the map. Ladies and gentlemen, the Yeoman together with the crossbowman looking to fire off Mango's once again. Trebuchets beginning to roll off the line. Quintuple Springles on that backside. Spearman getting caught out of position here. He's moved them all the way up to the front, and they've just been easily picked off by these Springles at the back. And now that's going to leave all these Templar brothers ready to just eat the rest of the army alive. There's only a handful of them remaining, but the reinforcements are going to be impactful here because you're reinforcing with 1-2 spears at a time, but the enemy's reinforcing with Templar brothers. They've managed to all go down. The crossbowman and Yeoman combo have done well. Speaking of Yeoman, they continue to fire off, working down this fortress. He's forced away from that position, continuing to kite away, and I tell you what an absolutely amazing battle we just got to witness there between these two Conqueror 3 players. Kiljadi now on the defensive. Will have to reconsider his options, reconsider which way he's going to go with regard to his composition. Does he continue making Yeoman? Obviously, they're doing well. Oh, we got the upgrade as well. We got the upgrade for the Trebuchets. They get, what is it that they get? A little bit of extra health, and I think they also get bonus damage to buildings. Is that right? I feel like that's right. Am I missing something? I'm probably missing something. It's a bit of a strange upgrade. It's definitely not straightforward. But the most important part of this upgrade is that they changed the cosmetics. It's a bit hard to see because he's literally parked them in the worst place where we don't actually get to see a whole bunch of them. But you can see they've got this kind of gold outline on them now, on these cool little parts here. So very, very nice change. And I wish there were more upgrades that actually did this, made the changes to these units more visible. Of course, obviously, like your elite upgrades, your veteran upgrades, they do provide that bonus. But we do now start to see behind the scenes the second town center has been rebuilt from Corvinus 1. So that economy is going to continue to improve over time. Additional fortress now going to be going down on the south side as well. Obviously, he lost this one towards the center, so not going to be sending pilgrims up this way. But we do see more of them migrating up towards that north side. Mango number improving as well. Yeoman firing off. Nice shots coming out, but once again, not a whole lot of units go down. It looks like he's grabbed about 4 or 5 of them. But it's one of those things where it's, you ideally want to continue doing it over time. And now those Trebs going to have to fall back. A little bit of line of sight problems over here. You can see that Trebuchet almost goes down. Of course, now he's actually got vision of that Trebuchet. It's not active vision, though, so he's still not going to be able to hit it. He can do a forced, or he can attack ground on it, though. We can see those Trebuchets both going to go down. Unfortunate positioning there. Mango's trying to find shots off, and there's nothing here to defend the rest of the Mangoes from these Knights that come through. And now the Templar brothers going to try and defend. Yeoman firing off on this center of mass. Yeoman all moving up to point-blank range. What is the go with the Yeoman? And now able to get some decent shots off, able to hit the crossbows, but the Knight numbers are looking very solid here for Kiljadi on this sacred site in the center. Keep in mind he's getting that extra attack damage bonus that's coming through from the Castile Commandery. On top of that, he's also got the extra healing that's coming through. The numbers looking still decent for both players. They're rallying them in as fast and as hard as they can. But the Knights from House of Lancaster actually looking like they might have done some serious work here, and 24 minutes into the game, Corvinus 1 could be in trouble. He's going to need to rebuild. He's going to need to really reach for something powerful. Potentially Poland could be an option for him. Of course, we've seen the Poles be very powerful in recent Knights Templar games. Could this be his one out left in this game? The number continues to improve for Kilji, though. He's 4x the opponent when it comes to the military count. And as long as he keeps putting on the pressure, he could have Corvinus 1 on the ropes here. Already, it's starting to look a little bit scary. The pilgrims want to migrate towards the north. Rather, they want a pilgrimage towards the north, but their route has been cut off. So he's rerouted the pilgrims over towards the south side, and hopefully shouldn't have too many hassles towards that direction. And you can see the yeomen able to chase down all of these crossbowmen, but unfortunately, they're a little bit out of position now. Knights Templar with their Templar brothers looking to try and confirm, not able to find it just yet. And I tell you what, we got ourselves a ball game here. It was starting to look a little bit more favorable for Corvinus 1, but I tell you what, after that last fight, Kilji has absolutely said, hey, do not count me out just yet, my friend. It is not over until the fat lady sings. We'll check in with him and see how he's doing. Relic numbers, 3-2 split in favor of Kilji. Always decent. Having that nice little split between the two. It always feels bad when your enemy takes 4 or 5 relics. But when you've got that 3-2 split, it's manageable. The numbers continue to build for Kilji, though. He could look for an Imperial Age here. He's got the numbers for it. That could be a very strong condition for him to win as well. Imperial Age into elite upgrades. You could look to get that final upgrade as well from the Lancaster Castle. Gets you those Demi-Lancers. Maybe you can even look to upgrade things like your Earl's Guard, upgrade your Yeoman, and then just go in for one final push. That could definitely be the way forward. You can see he's still got plenty of population space in the bank. When it comes to the military count, Corvinus 1 is rebuilding. A lot of what Kilji's got, though, is just weak infantry. Corvinus 1's got more expensive units. He's got those Templar brothers. Speaking of which, Sacred Side Victory is still in play here. It does look like Kilji is going to be trying to stop it, going for that central Sacred Site. Knights Templar, as they come through on their backside, able to pick up a couple of siege here. I always say Knights Templar when I see the Templar brothers. I guess that's just my brain going, Templar, Templar, Knights Templar. And then I just repeat that. Comes through, looks to take out the yeoman, does it. He's going to lose 3 Templar brothers for it. Actually, I take it back. He's going to lose 2.5 as that healing almost causes that Templar brother to go down, but he had all that healing, so he was fine. He was almost fine. He was always going to be fine, that guy. Numbers still looking good. No walls coming up yet for Kilji, interestingly. Big push coming in. Corvinus 1 could look to try and take advantage here. We're right on board with him, and the majority of the army's up towards his top side, Triple Mangonel. Of course, Kilji does not see up this hill, so he doesn't know exactly where it is. His focus is going to be behind the scenes. Templar brother working down these villages. He's spotted out a huge amount of them. We can see the cavalry has been taken out a couple of villages here as well. 19 against 3 for the moment. Still working it down over on this stone outcropping. And now back towards the outpost. How's the army looking? The army's coming in. 4 mangoes he's up to now. And Knights moving down towards that south side, going into the fog of war. There's a lot of villagers down here, so will be caught out if he's not careful. And we can see more and more of that army making its way down. You can see they've got the attack move route. They've spotted the vills, and immediately they charge upon those villagers. Corvinus 1 going to be running as fast as he can. These vills down on the berries. Where they at? Where they at? They're down here. Another fortress going to be going up over on the gold over here. No, never mind. It's not even that one that we're talking about. It's this one right here. As these guys out. Oh, my Lord. They outed this last villager, or these villagers over here. Meanwhile, back towards the main base, we got more action. Look at this. Pilgrims getting taken out. No pilgrimage for you. And unfortunately, there's the defensive fortress now coming up. Corvinus 1 really doing a good job of just defending on all angles, trying to keep himself alive. He's lost 39 villagers here. So Kilji still in economic competition with his opponent, despite being only on that single town center for the entire duration of the game. And what a great game we've got. Can I just compliment the fact that these two players are incredible when it comes to this. They're so evenly matched with each other. They know their strengths, they know their weaknesses, they know the enemy's strengths and weaknesses. They've done this perfectly. And of course, shout out to EGC TV for the event. Make sure you go check them out this weekend. I'll leave a link in the description. EGC TV, Saturday and Sunday, 15 GMT. I was going to say 13 GMT, but that's a little bit too early. Don't come 13 GMT. Maybe come to 13 GMT. I'm not sure. We'll have to double check. Mango moving in. Mango going to get caught out of position here. You can see him looking to fire off down towards the center of mass. Look at all the crossbows. Wow. That was double-digit crossbows that just fell right there. A huge amount of crossbows have just departed and gone into the afterlife. Meanwhile, towards the north, Morville's going to get eaten up. It's going to be by the fortress this time, and it's going to be Corvinus 1 that does the eating. I tell you what, look how many fortresses he's got on this map. He's just spamming them everywhere. It's ridiculous. He's got so many. He's got 5 up already. He's going for a 6th one. That is insanity. He's looking to confirm over on this eastern side, maybe potentially a trade route. Is he thinking about Venice as an option? Ain't no way. Or is he just looking to try and secure the gold vein? I think that's probably the play. More so just looking to try and protect the gold vein. We see the battering rams coming through. The Vils are going to do their best to try and burn this down. A couple Vils sent back here. Meanwhile, towards that front, look at the mangonel numbers. 7 mangonels coming out. These are Castle Age mangonels. Wingard Palace. He did it. He hit the imp button. Where's that imp landmark? There it is. The Wingard Palace now looking to bring through the House of Lancaster into the final age. All sacred sites once again captured. Battering rams going to be taken out. Those Templar brothers, they're somewhere, rather those knights are somewhere. Meanwhile, at this point, Corvinus 1's got 2 options. He can fall back and go imp himself, or he can try and push the enemy before the upgrades come through. And, well, it doesn't look like he's falling back. Speaking of upgrades, though, they're not even coming through. Let's move into cinematic mode. He's just going to hold. He's not even going to hold. He's just going to go for it right now. The complete surround! This is Age of Empires! Have a look at this! From every single angle, he somehow finds a way, crushing through the army of Corvinus 1. Welcome to Age of Empires 4. I tell you what, if this is the first game of Age of Empires 4 you're ever seeing, you are in for an absolute treat. What a complete dismantling of the Knights Templar army we have just witnessed. Oh my god, that was insane. Look at that. Wow, 101 to 14 on that military count. Was that not the most beautiful fight you have ever just witnessed? That was absolutely perfectly executed. You could not do that better if you tried to do it 1,000 times again. That was just perfection. Wow. I am speechless. How? How do you even coordinate your fingers to do that? That is ludicrous. And now Corvinus 1's really in trouble. He's attempting to throw down additional fortresses here, but he knows the jig is up. And you can see right now, all the pilgrims going to be taking a huge beating from these yeomen. Upgrade still not coming through, by the way. Veterancy on the crossbows, veterancy on the yeomen, veterancy on the spearmen. He doesn't care at all. He's just like, yeah, I'm just going imp for the sake of it. I just want to go imp for Scootage. Didn't even grab Scootage, the poor guy. I haven't even seen a single upgrade. He just went imp to flex at this point. God, I tell you what, you don't need to flex much after that little fight. Wow, I can't believe that. Corvinus 1, just how many mangoes did he have? He must have had like 7 or 8 mangonels. I mean, that really goes to show how you play around Siege in Age of Empires 4 now. It's not about countering the unit with its counter. It's about countering the unit with positioning. You know, in the old days, in the good old days, the mangonel got countered by the springald. Then the springald got countered by the springald. And then everybody was making springalds. Whereas now, your enemy's making mangonels. It's not that you counter them based on your unit selection, but rather on your tactics. And we saw that here, just incredibly done by Kilji. One of the most memorable plays in Age of Empires 4 history. I'm going to say that right now. You will be remembering this in years to come. Even if you don't play Age of Empires 4 anymore, you'll be like, hey, you'll be sitting down for breakfast one day, eating your Fruit Loops, and be like, oh man, I just remember that Kilji game. That was sick. Dude, that was sick. That was wild. I can't believe that was even real. Yeoman firing off, trying to get some shots in on the villagers here at the front. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Corvinus 1 is, just keep in mind, he's playing the Knights Templar. This civilization is notorious for its ability to really, by the way, look at that. Look at the amount of pilgrims he's got, 9 pilgrims. I'm assuming that's, yeah, that's 9 pilgrims. That's incredible. Yeah, Knights Templar is very much the Hydra. So you've got to be cautious with this Civ. It can be hard to keep them down. So now, Kilji somehow still hasn't lost this army, by the way. There's a huge mass of Templar brothers that's building up, and we do see the upgrades coming through. Elite Yeoman and Scootage now coming through. There's the Elite Yeoman. Crossbowmen yet to be upgraded. Spearmen yet to be upgraded. And Corvinus 1, of course, yet to be surrendering. But this army does continue building, and it's getting big. Yeoman fire off towards that army. Corvinus 1 holding on for dear life. He's got those 2 mangoes. Just remember, he had 7 mangonels in that last fight, and he just got absolutely stomped on. Wow, that was impressive, man. I don't think I've ever seen something that beautiful in Age of Empires 4. Like, maybe in Outback Octagon, like, we've seen some pretty good snipes that have come through. You know, like, thinking back to Anatan having Core run the gauntlet, like, that was definitely a memorable moment, but that right there, that was just, it was so cinematic. It was so perfect. It was just like the complete surround of enemy forces and just absolute dismantling of them. You know, I was questioning the timing on it. Was it the right call? Was it the right move to go this early? You hadn't got your upgrades through yet. And we can see they're all coming through now. Veteran Hobblers, Elite Spearmen are coming through. And it was 100% the right call. He just knew, okay, you know what? My enemy is right in the best spot where I can possibly take them out. Teutonic Order now going to be coming through from Corvinus 1. That's his last hope to try and keep himself in the game. Not going to be going into Poland at all. Going to be looking to try and stick it out with infantry here. That's his hope. Now, keep in mind, his opponent does still have quite a few spears out. They're elite spears. They're Billman spears as well, which means they're particularly effective at dealing with armored units like the Polish cavalry, and he obviously knows that. So says, maybe it's better we just go the Teutonic Order. But keep in mind that despite your Teutonic Knights, you're going to be up against the Yeomen, which are fast, and they're very powerful when it comes to kiting. So you're already going to have a bit of a tough time, but Templar Brothers now looking to raid on the other side of the map. Vil count still looking quite healthy here for Kilji. In fact, he's ahead of Corvinus 1. More than 100 Vils taken out by Corvinus, or of Corvinus 1s so far in this game. But another fortress coming up, 26 Vils rallied over here. Boiling Oil working its magic as well. Imperial Age is now online. Mangoes, together with the Springalds, trying their best to hold in. We hear the Yeoman fire from somewhere. There they go now over on the villagers on that west side. All of them jump in and look to try and secure up a little bit more space. He's holding on for dear life. Crossbow's going to get taken out. Siege run out through the back door. Meanwhile, over towards the east side of the map, more and more Knights Templar Brothers run it through these villager lines. It's taken out 22 so far. Needs to continue working the magic. Battering rams are going to be thrown down here by Kilji, and you can feel, like, in this game just how tense it is. Obviously, Kilji's got the upper hand, but at the same time, Corvinus 1 is really making him work for it here. The fact that he is playing this turtle style of play style, and it's so difficult to take out without having appropriate numbers of siege, and the fact that Corvinus 1 has got this siege that just feels really difficult to kill. Now the Teutonic Knights are out. He'll be looking to try and hold the front line with the Teutonic Knights. As long as he's able to fight in little pockets like this, he should be okay. He's up to 14 Teutonic Knights now. Still working his magic behind the scenes as the villager's going to get caught out once again. Corvinus 1 trying to find any little way back into this game that he possibly can. This is a tournament game. It's not just a ladder game where you can give up and go next. It all comes down to this. Well, I think it's like a best of 5. I'm not going to be bringing you all of the games in the series from these guys, so you'll have to check those out on the official EGC TV channel. But we'll be bringing you a couple of them. Teutonic Knights moving up towards that top side. Yeomen firing off with their synchronized shot. And now, once again, Corvinus 1 looks like he should be okay to clean this up. Keep in mind, boiling oil on these fortresses should be okay to absolutely dish out the pain. And you can see right now, yeah, he's cleaning house. A lot of villagers still in here, but 66, he's down to 66 Vils. Even if he manages to survive here, how does he possibly bring that Vil count back? Do you throw down another town center? I mean, you've got 2 already, and you've been pumping non-stop throughout this game. But at the same time, it's like, where do we go from here? How do we make this work? Plenty of pilgrims. He's got 8 pilgrims. This is a large amount of gold that he's going to be generating passively through these pilgrims. They don't cost population space. It's always going to be guaranteed. So you're going to be looking, he's got the treasure tower upgrade. So we're talking about, what is it, 116? That's going to go up to 140-ish, somewhere in that region, 136, and he's got 8 of them. So you're talking about more than 2,000 resources coming through. Oh, sorry, more than 1,200 resources coming through. Sorry, no, it's 100, more than 1,000. We'll just go with more than 1,000 resources coming through every minute for free. I mean, it's not for free, obviously. You guys know. You got to research Sanctuary, but you get the idea, right? When we say for free, we're talking about population, baby. I'm talking Mountain Dew, baby. We're talking population, baby. Infantry army looking formidable here. Kilji's House of Lancaster is particularly scary. Upgrades almost completely there, as we see elite army tactics now arriving for our spearmen. The armies continue to march towards the south. And you can see how Kilji has cleaned up this east side of the map. It's all his now. And I think this is the way that you've got to do it. You've really got to try and segregate the map and say, okay, I'm going to methodically clean out the south, and then the east, and then the west, and then just really try and make sure that everything is taken out, because these fortresses are absolute behemoths when it comes to staying alive. It can be difficult to deal with them. They get so many bonuses. I don't know whether he's picked it up. I don't think has he picked up? Oh, he just got iron clamps just then. It just came through. Now, the yeomen going to be looking to try and chase the pilgrims. Unfortunately, one-shotting most of them. Now that Templar headquarters going to be taken out. Now, I suspect when the Templar headquarters fall, the pilgrims will no longer spawn, right? I don't know how that interaction works. Demi-Lancers coming out in the north. I don't know how that interaction works, but I suspect that that is the case. I can't imagine they'd just go to like the next town center and be like, yeah, you're our new headquarters over here. I don't think that's how it works. But the first of the Knights Templar landmark has fallen. You can see he's at 5 out of 10 at the moment. This is the first landmark that ever was, though. That's why we can get away with calling it the first. Can I just compliment the art style on these Raxes, or just on these buildings in general? Incredible looking. And Corvinus One really holding out for the moment. Knows he's got one last stand that he can give this game. Doesn't want to get done the same way he did outside the front of the enemy's base in the plains. The perfect space to be taken. And manages to move behind these front lines of stables. A distinct lack of walls here to get the enemy caught up. And now Corvinus One at 170 population. 32 spearmen. 33 Teutonic Knights as the spears move back to collect the Demi-Lancers. They've got their elite upgrades and now moving through with the Hobbler. Here he goes. Teutonic Knights looking to try and defend the line. Plenty of fire coming through from the Yeoman. You can see the Knights Templar, or rather, you can see all the, excuse me, you can see all of these bad boys, the Teutonic Knights. You can see the Teutonic Knights and how strong they are, how little damage they take. Boiling Oil helping out on this defense. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the spears have cleaned up all the Demi-Lancers, continuing to move out and around the flanks. And now, all of a sudden, there's no way he's doing it. Look at the number of Teutonic Knights, though. The Teutonic Knight is starting to look incredible here. Hold on, we got to check that military count. Give me a second here. Military counts, it's looking kind of even Stevens at the moment. Vil count behind the scenes, still okay. Okay, he's alive. What is this game that we are witnessing right now? I mean, if you're Kilji, you're probably thinking to yourself, how do I beat this demon? How do I stop this thing? And I think the reality is, like, he's done very well so far in this game, and it's just a matter of, like, hammering this last little bit home. Get out a couple of siege engines, the same way you've got Culverin out right now. And this is what's going to be that final nail in the coffin. And you just want that slow, methodical push towards the final goal. Take out the last of the landmarks and just keep, you've got this single Culverin down here. Absolutely perfect. You just want to make sure that you're aware of these positions. And you can see him stealing away the relics here. I'd love to see just a couple of outposts down here just to make sure there's no more pesky landmarks that suddenly show themselves. Though I suspect there probably won't. He's really consolidated over into this last little corner. Keep in mind, he's losing out on that gold though. So he wants to try and get this Templar headquarters back up. And we can see the Vils have indeed made that call to come back over here. Culverin going to be thrown away here. A little bit of an awkward position. We've only got the elite spearmen have been upgraded, but there's no extra armor for them just yet. It's moving out towards the keep in the center. A lot of Teutonic Knights. Now, keep in mind, it's hard for us to track these Teutonic Knights, but some of them are in here are just absolute beasts. This one's got 402 health. It's got 8 kills, or at least 8 kills more than that guy does. Yeah, because that guy had kills as well. So, landmarks are starting to fall. Wallalol in the center of the map. Knight or Templar brother, he fires off on towards this central location. Teutonic Knights are going to be the last saving grace for him. He's got the healing, he's got the bonus damage. This could be it. The Teutonic Knights looking to overwhelm all of the enemy troops. He's played so well this game, but now he looks to throw it away at the last little moment. Don't do it like this, Kilji. No, like this. Look at the Teutonic Knights. They're so strong. What a game we are witnessing. There's no way this is happening right now. He is not. Oh my God, look how strong they are. Look how strong. They don't care. They don't care about a little yeoman. He's doing it. He's actually taking him down. There's no way. The keep's going to fall. The sacred site's going to be neutralized. He's falling back once again. The yeoman able to continue kiting. You can see how little damage these guys are taking, but in the end, they do fall. Military numbers still in his favor for the moment. Okay, don't get ahead of yourself, Drongo, mate. What a game. What a game. What a game we are watching. Yeoman still looking to try and find a way to kite. How do you even deal with the yeoman at this point? I guess horsemen? Maybe? Probably? Possibly? I think that's probably the way that you do it. But then, I mean, you're playing a whole nother ball game. Yeoman got to fire off, get a little bit of damage on the Teutonic Knights. He manages to make his way all the way back here. And I think that's what I was saying earlier about, moving into Poland as a potential option. If you look at how well he did in that last fight, I guess the reality is, I mean, Kilji's a good player, right? If he sees Poland, he's going to make spears. But now these Reboldiquin numbers are starting to build up as well. Plenty of army. Okay, yeah. I think Kilji might have this one. I think Kilji may have this one in the bag. That was looking pretty impressive, though, right there from Corvinus One. That was a scary... Oh, he's gone into Genitors. Oh, he's realized too late. I've realized too late. He could have just gone Genitors. Look how many he's getting out. They're elite upgraded as well, so they get extra range from being near the fortresses and, of course, extra damage from being elite upgraded. So he's doing a total of 24 ranged damage to these yeomen if he can stay near the fortresses. But... or rather, I should have said he gets a total of 6.9 range. Oh, Vils now going to try and focus down the fortress of Corvinus in the south of the map. Should be able to do this without too much hassle. You can see some of them are getting their daggers out, doing a little bit of stabby while they're doing a bit of shooty. I think he should be able to claim that position without too much hassle. He's fortunately got quite a few villagers down here. Yeah, he's going to clean this up without any hassle. And Corvinus 1 going to be feeling a little bit sad about that. That's 1.4k stone in there. And more units continue to move forward. Kilji, the number of military units he's got is unreal. He's sitting at 120, roughly, military population now. Maxed out, 200 out of 200. Yeoman fought a little bit short. Meanwhile, towards the south side, he's able to cancel that one out. Chasing away these last little villagers. Knows how painful they can be, so wants to really stick it to them. And now Corvinus 1. You know, we've talked about the prospect of the last stand for quite some time here, and it looks like he ain't standing just yet, or at least not for the last time. And now those Reboldiquins. He's trying to fire through the mass, trying to get through and hit these Templar, these Teutonic Knights. Only two Reboldiquins still standing, both of these players. Or rather, Corvinus 1 sitting at only 100 population now. His army getting worked out. Meanwhile, Kilji, look at the amount of units he's got in queue. 34 spears, 4 yeomen, 14 knights. And I feel like that's probably it. I don't see how Corvinus 1 makes it work from here. 46 minutes into this game. No, I've said that before. And look, I'm probably going to say that again. Vils get cleaned up. No, I'm not going to say it again. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Kilji victorious after an absolutely epic 46-minute game for EGC TV. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go check them out this weekend. This is the action that they've got over there. One of the best games of the year coming out, and that's the very first one. We got plenty more coming up, so make sure you go say good day.